More reasons to fire Wynne. I'm Brian Lilly with the Rebel.media. Kathleen Wynne has some gall, doesn't she? The Premier and leader of the Liberal Party is trying to claim the Progressive Conservative Party needs to turf one of their members, Jack McLaren, over some strange behavior. But unlike Wynne, members of her party and staff, none of McLaren's behavior constitutes illegal or unethical behavior. McLaren's guilty of telling an ill-advised and off-color joke at a community event and posting fake names on his website to accompany testimonials. Now, none of that's very bright, but let's compare that to the behavior of Wynne, her staff, and her party. Before I get into her most recent problems, let me remind you of the latest police investigation into Wynne's people, the one that goes back to last year. Accusations of bribery against the Premier's Deputy Chief of Staff and a Sudbury organizer for the Liberals who went to a candidate with a job offer if he would just step aside in favor of the Liberal star candidate. Now listen to the audio where both Pat Sorbera and Jerry Lougheed say they're going to Andrew Olivier on behalf of the Premier.
In the course of that deliberation, the Premier wants to talk to you. They would like to present to you options in terms of appointments, jobs, whatever, that you and her and Pat Sorbera can talk about.
That would fulfill that is what I'm getting at, whether it's a full-time or part-time job at a constituent office, whether it is appointments to boards or commissions, whether it is also going on the exec directive, lots of, but we would just need to better understand, what is it that you most want to do.
Well, Lougheed is facing bribery charges now. Somehow, Sorbera and Wynne are not. Now, Sorbera was investigated for months by the OPP, but she kept her job. Yet Jack McLaren has to go over a bad joke and some weird web testimonials. Let's look at another one of my favorites, Bob Chiarelli. Have I mentioned FireWynne.ca yet today? Chiarelli's the incompetent man atop the energy file in Ontario, the man who's been in charge as the province has dealt with the gas plant debacle. He's the man overseeing a system that only watches prices go up, leading to concerns about energy poverty, especially for seniors. He's the man in charge of the file that spent billions on the smart meter program, a program the Auditor General pointed out provided little value for the money.
The reduction of peak demand has not been met, and that was anticipated to be one of the benefits. There was another reduced cost for the distribution companies was another objective that has not been met. In terms of not bringing new generation on the system, that has not been met. And ratepayers' energy bills, the impact of reducing them by having smart meters has not been met.
Now, Chiarelli's response to that was to say that the Auditor General, the Provincial Auditor General, who spent years working at the highest levels of Manitoba Hydro, who has an MBA among other credentials, just couldn't possibly understand the complexities of Ontario's power system. Jack McLaren told an off-color joke, probably misogynistic, but Bob Chiarelli claiming the little lady in charge of auditing, she just couldn't understand the complexities of the power grid. He gets to keep his job, but McLaren's the one that has to go. Right. Now, staying with Chiarelli, it was he at the center of two controversial fundraisers recently. One organized by an energy industry lobbyist promoted to people in the energy industry. Just $6,000, you could get FaceTime with the energy minister and the Premier and top staffers. At another fundraiser, the promise was for FaceTime with Chiarelli and Finance Minister Charles Sousa for just $7,500. That fundraiser was well attended and promoted by the syndicate that received the contract to underwrite the sell-off of Hydro One. But again, it's not the guy fundraising off the people he's regulating or the people he's making rich that has to go. It's the backbench MPP from the opposition ranks who made a couple of bad judgment calls. Kathleen Wynne runs a corrupt government. She's under fire over her fundraising practices, over the quotas given to her minister. She's under fire over autism funding, over conditions at provincial jails that she pretends she has nothing to do with. Now she's trying to change the channel by saying it's Jack McLaren that has to go. No, Miss Wynne, you are the one that has to go. It's time for you to do the right thing and resign, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that, so I'll say it's time for the people of Ontario to stand up and call out with one voice that you need to go. If you agree with me, I want you to go to FireWynne.ca. We've been running this petition and website for some time now, let me tell you. We even crowdfunded a billboard that sits right across the street from Wynne's office calling for her to be fired. Well, it got noticed, enough that someone, likely Wynne or her staff, complained to Elections Ontario, So they sent an intimidation letter to the Rebel. But we're not doing anything wrong. The billboard is completely legal and it speaks the truth. If you agree with me that Wynne has to go, then sign the petition and chip in a few bucks if you can to keep the billboard up there. And I have to ask you, is $10 worth it? Is spending $10 to know you're getting under the skin of Kathleen Wynne a worthwhile expenditure of funds? I'd say so. Go to FireWynne.ca, sign the petition, share it with your family and friends on social media, and donate if you can.
Thanks for watching. Click here to never miss a Rebel update. Want even more of the Rebel? Well, click here to become a premium member.